Yo, what up from Bali, guys? So, as you know, I'm able to be out here because I've been an Amazon seller for the past 4 years, and I've even been to China to visit my Chinese factory that I found on Alibaba. That was an experience. I vlogged the whole thing. You can check it out. Search China, living that life on YouTube. Some interesting vlogs there. But anyways, I've always been quite confused over how do I get a better price with this? Am I getting the best price? Is my supplier ripping me off? Am I getting the right price for shipping? And of course, people ask me this all the time. And then I have ideas for new products, and the factory will tell me, oh, this requires a new mold. It's going to be $5,000, or this is going to be $10,000 for this new custom design. I'm like, is that real? Like, am I getting the right price? Is there an easier way to do this? And then a few months back, this company contacted me. They obviously found that I was an Amazon seller through whatever search methods, and they're reaching out to me, and I'm like, this is exactly what I've been looking for. They're Americans, and they basically handle all the China stuff for you. They have a Chinese team that works just for them, that's based in China, and they're full Chinese, and they know the local culture and way to negotiate and stuff. And so they've created this basically done for you service company if you're trying to make physical products, source physical products. Even if you find a product on Alibaba, you can hire them to look for the best possible, highest quality for the best price factory for you and get the best price. So instead of just going straight to Alibaba, you hire them and they'll make sure everything is optimized, as well as get you the best price for shipping and everything. So I'm like, finally there's an American company doing this. I had an interview with him, and we go into the details of it, and I've already linked to their company to some people asking for this type of help in Amazon chat groups out there, chats and groups. But anyway, yeah, if you're interested, the details will be linked below. But of course, this is a interview that I just had with the co-founder of the company, Zach, and enjoy. All right, so this one is going to be for Amazon sellers and potential Amazon sellers. So we got Zach Leonard here from Gemba. And what was Gemba? What services? Supply chain as a service. How would you describe what your company does?
Yeah, I think at a high level, what we do is we help businesses and individuals create and manufacture products. So we have a team in the United States that helps more on the design and innovation and engineering stuff. And then we have a team in China, once those ideas come to life, of taking them and putting you in touch with the manufacturing partner to make them real. So at the end of the day, what we're doing is we're enabling dreamers to bring their dreams to reality through products.
Yeah, that's awesome. And so, yeah, when you reached out to me, I was like, yeah, I kind of am surprised, like, I haven't known about this sooner, because I was actually just telling my friends here in Bali about how I went to China to visit my factory in 2017. And I had ideas for new products, but like I had no idea where to start because I wanted to make some custom design. And so I like went to this one design, like at the Canton Fair, a bunch of people handing out cards, like design company. It was, anyways, so confusing. And so when you guys reached out, someone from your team reached out to me, I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Someone that knows China and can, if you have an idea, help you prototype that and basically tell you where to go and just help you along the process to get a product made, sourced, and selling. So is that basically
right?
Okay. Yeah,
that's exactly right. The process, like you said, we try and make it as easy as possible for anyone. So a lot of people have great ideas, and then they say, okay, I have an idea. I might have flushed it out on a napkin or a piece of paper or something, and now what? And so now we have a way to take that idea from the back of a napkin or a piece of paper or even just in your brain and make it into something that's really important. Step here is that you're able to invest a good amount of effort into the design aspect. And for us, what we try and do is make that process very streamlined and straightforward. So from our process for design is we talk with our customers, getting feedback on, what they want to make, maybe if there's other products out there in the market that they like or they want to take inspiration from. And then we throw together some, 2D and 3D sketches for them to show, hey, is this what you're looking for? Is this what you thought? You go through an iterative process through the sketches, and then after that, you move into the actual manufacturing specs. So that's 2D, CAD drawings, that's 2D dimensional drawings, that's material makeups, that's bill of materials. So you're really going to get a true understanding of, how your product looks, what it's made out of, each component, and then what you're doing is you're translating that into how manufacturers speak, right? You're speaking the manufacturing language. It sets you apart from a lot of the other players in the game or a lot of the businesses in the game, because you come across as a professional to the manufacturers. A lot of people go to these manufacturers, if you've done private labeling before, and they say, well, I want to make an iteration on this product, maybe make this enhancement here and there. There's a couple things that can be to your detriment if you do that. One is you come across as an amateur, right? Some of these factories, they're dealing with, Nikes or Adidas or some big companies, and they come to them with manufacturing specs. And so if you come to them and say, I'll put yourself back on a pricing perspective, because they know that you have no idea what you're doing. Yeah. The second thing is you're leaving it out of the hands of the manufacturers to make decisions on your product. And that's a really important step, because you don't want to have them dictate the dimensions. You don't want to have them dictate the materials that they're making up, because they're going to try and nickel and dime you corners to that. So what you're doing by investing in design up front is you're giving them the actual blueprint of how to make your product. The analogy I always talk about is, if you're going to build a house, are you going to let the builder decide how to build it, or are you going to give them an architect and a blueprint of how to make your house? 9 times out of 10, you're probably going to do it the blueprint way. And the reason why is because the builder is not going to know what you want, and they're going to do what they think is correct. And they're going to, again, cut corners, they're going to cost, they're going to try and make it as cheap as possible. The same applies to manufacturing. And so that's kind of what we are in the business of doing, is putting our customers in the position to succeed overseas, at least from the design and innovation side. And then from the manufacturing side, because we've been doing this for, our team's been doing it for over a decade, we have great factory relationships already established. So if you have broad categories that you can sell on Amazon, whether it's cut and sew, whether it's injection molded items, whether it's metal, whether it's kitchenware or backyard furniture, those are the types of products that we work on and know really well, especially from the manufacturing side. So we can help expedite that process for you and hopefully get you better pricing than you would be able to do on yourself through like Alibaba or Sourcing Agent or something like that.
Yeah, that was also really, really interesting to me. Just the pricing thing, because we got recommended some sourcing agent, nice Chinese woman that we met with and hung out with when we were there. But she never really ended up bringing the prices down from what we got on Alibaba, which is kind of perplexing. But we weren't really sure what the realistic expectations were. So yeah, that's cool. So I guess I would be wondering so how does this work? Are these Americans? Because you're based in the US. You're in the US right now, or are you guys in China? Or
yeah, so we have an office in Austin, Texas. That's where our headquarters are. That's where I'm at right now. And then we also have an office in Dongguan, China, which is the epicenter of manufacturing. And so, what you get when you sign up with us is basically a team that builds around your needs. So it starts with an account manager that manages you through the entire process. And then we plug in each different component as you move along. So if you're in the design phase, we plug you in with designers and engineers to make sure that they can get all the specs right for your product. And then once that's baked, we turn it over to our team in China. So you work with an account manager over in China who handles more of the sourcing and factory communication. And then once you get to production, we put you in touch with our quality control agent who actually goes to the factory and performs all the quality assurance measures to make sure that your product's built to your spec. When you're creating something from scratch, this is obviously a paramount importance because they've never made something like this before. There's going to be a lot more margin for error, at least in the first run. And so what you want to do is have someone who's transparent with you, who can go to the factory for you, who can really be your eyes and ears on the ground over there. And that's what we offer. The other part of it is compliance, with different aspects of products. For electronics, you need to make sure it's UL or CE certified and listed. You need to make sure if it's a children's product that you're getting it ASTM and CalProp 65 and all the other labeling from the CPSIA perspective, just to make sure that you're in compliance and that doesn't get caught up at customs or removed from Amazon because you're not compliant, right? And so those are all the measures that when you're talking about building a new product, you need to take into account up front. And those are the things that we can help you do as you continue to move along the way, whether it's from our team overseas or whether it's from our team domestically that helps produce that.
Nice. And so
the other side of that gets interesting is, go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, are you partnered with a Chinese team, or is it like you have an American team over there?
We have employees over there, so we have a full team over there. It's not a partner; it's actually our entity over there. And
nice.
What's cool about the entity is,
like, are these Chinese guys or
when we're talking
guys?
about?
I'm just trying to like.
These are Chinese guys.
Okay.
Oh, these are Chinese guys, which is it helps from the standpoint of Guangxi, which is the business relationship side of things over in China. So we understand how the culture works. Americans can be very get things done really fast. And that's not exactly how the Chinese culture works. We want to make sure that we're setting you up with someone who's local, who understands the culture, who can really be your advocate throughout the entire process. Another thing to think about when you're talking about the entity that's set up over there is that we can actually enforce contracts and help you get patents, right? So if you're coming up with a new design that's completely new to the game or game changing, we can help enforce those in China through our entity. So that's another thing that a lot of people come to us and ask, hey, we have we're getting ripped off over in China. Well, now you don't have to worry about that because we have a way to enforce those contracts.
Yep. Yeah, I've heard very similar things. It's even if you have a patent, it can be very difficult to enforce. It's like good luck in China. Okay. Yeah, great. So if I was listening, the one question that I would have is like, and I've wondered this in the past, like let's say I have an idea, it's completely custom design, like it needs custom mold and everything. Like for someone who's like a solopreneur, doesn't have $1 million behind them, like what is the lowest range that you've seen someone come in and create like a simple product? Like would you say like 5K minimum, 10K, 20K? Not even including your fees. I'm just saying like people that may have an idea, let's say a simple thing like a freaking kitchen utensil to be made custom. Like what's the cost on that? What's the range?
Yeah, that's a great question. It's difficult to say, but obviously the smaller the product is, the less upfront cost you're most likely going to have because the mold is not going to be as big. But when you're talking about getting into molding and tooling, there can be a good amount of upfront cost. But that's, there's certain things you can do from a contract negotiation side where, you can get that mold fee paid back if the product ends up, you start putting in larger order quantities. And so you can actually find ways to work with the factories to recoup those costs. So it's, there might be a good capital investment up front, month 1, month 2, but if you get to month 6, then you're going over these quantities that the factory has established. Here's what it would take for us to pay you back on your mold. You can actually get it for free. And so those are the types of things that's having an experienced, team over in China gives you the leverage to understand. Right. And so because we've been doing this for so long, we understand that, and you can actually get better deals because if your product's hit, you start establishing price breaks, right? As if you get over certain quantities, hey, now I can, get my costs down even further. So the team over there doesn't just stop of all the upfront work. The goal is to continuously drive down price and drive down costs for all of our customers, so that when we do go out and go to bat for you, that you're really getting a team that's advocating on your behalf the entire time. Yeah,
for sure. Cause the thing that's been like a struggle in my mind is like, I might have a concept for a new product, but we show it to the factory. They're like, yeah, new mold, that's going to be 5,000 just for the mold, or 10,000 just for the mold or something. And I'm like, I don't even know if this is a total prototype. Like I need to. So have you worked with customers where they're like, I just want to make like a simple prototype, like a 3D printed thing? Because have you worked with people where they get like a 3D printed prototype, they do a Kickstarter video with that, maybe like a quasi prototype, and then if the Kickstarter video takes off, then they have validation to go make the actual mold and make the actual units?
Yeah, we're actually doing that right now as we speak with the customer. And because the IP is protected, I can't really talk as much detail, but they did exactly what you're talking about. They worked with one of our designers and engineers to create one of their products. They got it 3D printed and they put it onto Facebook and Kickstarter to see the traction that was being built. And now we're in the process of actually moving forward with the mold because they were able to test their theory out on Kickstarter and find that there was traction for their product and that they could get it made. So that's actually a really good avenue for someone. And again, what we're doing for them is in the negotiations, trying to understand the quantity totals that they would need to get those mold fees recouped. And so, like I said, it doesn't just, there might be a good upfront cost, but if you can prove the traction on Kickstarter, you can prove the traction on Amazon with low order quantities, and then, show the factory that you're going to be a long-term partner with them in this product, you're going to be able to, you should be able to recoup those upfront mold costs as you continue to do business with them.
Okay, that's very interesting. So was the 3D printed that was also done in China?
No, that's done domestically.
Okay, yeah, because I figure like how complicated does that need to be? So okay, they just 3D printed like enough, yeah, because like all you need is something good enough to make a good video. That's what I just keep thinking about.
Right.
So if you can make like a fake one that's 3D printed kind of, and then get the concept video out, then that's like half the battle with the market research. Okay, yeah, that's very interesting for my next product idea. Okay, cool. And then yeah, here it also says on your website that you do like freight forwarding. So obviously you know all the best ways to handle the logistics as far as the importing.
Yep. We have a logistics manager who's been doing this for 25 years, and so he helps. We call him Mr. 4PL. He's great, and he's been helpful in booking, helping us book the freight for our customers overseas, all the vessels to get it back, whether it's by air or by sea, and then book domestic shipping as well. So he can handle that. And then as well, we do some tariff analysis. Obviously, that's the big buzzword right now with everything that's going on in China. So making sure that you have a way to understand your tariff and duties and taxes that you're going to be owing to get things past customs. So yeah, I mean that's bread and butter for us, is to help start from the beginning process, which starts in design, and bring it all the way home to your warehouse. Okay,
cool. Well, yeah, if I was listening, I would have a pretty good wrap around what you guys are offering. I mean, another thing I would be asking is like, okay, this sounds kind of expensive. How does especially as a solo bootstrapping entrepreneur, how does your pricing work? Is it like a monthly retainer, or is there like a big fat upfront fee, and what are the pricing ranges?
Yeah, that's a great question. So for us to do our work on the design spec, and that's basically from start to finish, usually ranges somewhere in the couple grand range if you're looking for complete creation from scratch. And that's just a flat fee up front. And then when we get into production, for us to do all the things that we're talking about, which is really be your team overseas, help you manage quality control, help you manage the logistics, take a percentage of the production based on the size of the PO. And that can range anywhere from about 3% to 10%, depending on the frequency you guys are placing orders with us, or the size of the PO. And for us, like I said, because we've been doing business over there, we have scalability with our factories that we're working with. We usually are able to get pricing that is better than the Alibabas of the world, or the sourcing agents of the world, because we're setting you up with a direct connection to the factory. So you're going to get full transparency into what, who we're working with, what their pricing is, what each component of the pricing is. So if there are things like, if you're creating a product and there's multiple components, and one of the components is priced a little off, let's say you had a cup and the cap was metal and the rest of it was plastic, and the metal part of the cup was coming back at $1. We said, maybe that kind of looks really high. Maybe we could source this alternatively. We're going to go find the best factory to work with for that component and see, does this price make sense? And so we're taking a very transparent and very rigorous look at your product to make sure that we're getting you the best pricing. And we're able to cut up the supply chain for you and do that all for you, so you can save money versus just going to an Alibaba who's going to basically act as a sourcing agent for you, be an assembly factory. If you go into an electronics factory, they might offer a glass component that comes with their unit that you're trying to buy, but they're not a plastic factory or a glass factory, so you're going to they're going to mark that product up. Whereas if we take that component and source. Exactly. So they're going to mark up, 20-30%. We're going to be able to take that component and say, okay, this component is not made at this factory. Maybe we can go source it from another factory and find a better price on top of that. So again, I think that what our goal is with any of our customers is to really take a scrutinized look at your bill of materials and make sure that you're getting the best pricing for each component that goes into your final.
Yeah, nice. It makes sense. Yeah, help your customers at the end. Help them, save money and make way more money than they're obviously going to pay you.
Right.
And save, a lot of time and headache, obviously. Okay. Sounds good. And then maybe just a little at the end for people to get to know you. I don't know if I asked you this before. Like, how did you get involved in China and this whole game?
Yeah, that's a great question. So with one of my co-founders, we came together a few years ago, and really the idea was focused on transparency, and he'd been doing production in China for a long time, and there was an issue with sourcing agents and lack of transparency, and you don't really know where your products are from. And so we started off the company, we were really focused on quality control and transparency. There's a real lack of resources for small medium business, for Amazon sellers to create products and iterate on products in a very rapid and efficient manner. And so what we've catered our business around, after listening to our customers throughout the couple of years, is really building that. Don't have a full $100 million company that has a team that's dedicated to this. And so that's how we got started. That's how it's evolved. And now we offer basically the full gamut from design all the way through logistics to make sure that you do have someone who's going to bat for you on a daily basis. You have a team that can be built around your needs. You have that transparency that you're looking for. So the idea of transparency hasn't changed, from the genesis of the company. I think we've just evolved more of a, here's what we can do to help you expedite this process. We understand the costs. So you're getting more than just transparency. You're getting someone who's an advocate on your behalf, both domestically with design and also overseas through the manufacturing. Awesome.
Well, yeah, sounds awesome, man. I've already shared this around with some friends. Happy to get it out there to more people because, something that I was very, very interested in. But yeah, man, really cool what you guys are doing. And obviously the link to contact you guys for you guys listening will be in the description of this video /podcast. Awesome. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Appreciate it. And I'm sure we'll be in touch about this stuff in the coming months and years.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Riley. I appreciate the time. I was in Bali for my honeymoon earlier this year, so I'm very jealous that you're still there. But enjoy.
Yeah, I will, man. You gotta make it back out sometime. Lots more to explore.
I will. I know. If I do, I'll let you know for sure. All right. Thanks, Riley.
Yeah. Cheers.
Living that life. We just living that life. Talking plus living that life. We just living that life. You're listening to the Living That Life Digital Nomad Podcast. Hit the subscribe button on iTunes if you're a boss. And check out the YouTube channel for dope travel videos. Let's get it.